Okay, so today we're going to learn how to use TrackWrestling's mat side controller, also known as the scoreboard. So, when we're at a tournament and you sit down to a table, this is the screen you're going to see in front of you. So the setup will be you'll have a laptop, and this screen will be what's shown on your laptop, and then there will be a additional screen that is the actual scoreboard that's going to face the mat, and I'll show you what that looks like here in a little while. But what you need to worry about right now is everything that's on this screen. So when you sit down at the mat, you're going to verify that you're at the right mat. So you have a drop down list here of the mats. Okay, so we're going to be at mat 1, so we're already on the mat, on the correct mat. If for example this got changed to the wrong mat, you just go right here and change that over to mat 2. At some point during the tournament, there might be a time where we ask you to refresh your mat or refresh your matches. All you need to do at that point is click here, go to mat, and then go back to your mat number. So sometimes we have to update and load new matches in, and it's not automatically pulled in, and we just ask you to refresh that, and it's as simple as that. So here's what's going to happen. So you sit down at the table, you're looking for 2 wrestlers, and these are in order. Obviously you see the number order, and it's not going to be sequential because Bouts numbers 1 through 4 may be on a different mat, Bouts 6 may be on mat 2, and then the reason these skip down this far this quickly is because of the testing environment that I've got it set up in. So you're looking for Carter Gimmel from Bristol Wrestling Club and Leighton Honaker from Bears Wrestling. So you're going to call these 2 wrestlers' name. They're going to come in front of you in the table. All right, once you confirm that you have Gimmel and Honaker, you're going to click on their bout. Okay, this is the scoreboard that you're going to work with during the match. Okay, so Carter and Leighton walk up, and you notice that Leighton is wearing a red singlet and Carter is in our Bristol Wrestling Club black singlet. So the referee wants Leighton to be the red wrestler because it's easier to keep up with. Very easy to change that. You're going to go to this drop down box. You're going to make Leighton red. As you see, everything for Leighton changed to red, and Carter changed to green. Okay, sometimes the referees will make this decision and ask you to do that. Sometimes they want the table workers to make that decision. So just whatever's easier, whichever wrestler has more red or more green on their singlet, you're going to specify them as the red or the green wrestler. Very simple. Okay, so the clock, this is the center of your controller here. Okay, start stop button, set reset. Okay, most of the time the clock should be set for you and you don't have to worry about changing it. So when these wrestlers come up, and these are in the top division, their time periods are going to be 1-1-1, so it's 1 minute each. Certain divisions are going to be 1 minute and 30 seconds. Some divisions are going to be 2 minutes. You should not have to worry about changing that. It's automatically set for you. If, for example, you do need to change the clock for whatever reason, say you accidentally hit the button like that before the match actually started, okay, you can reset. All right, all you do is the box pops up and it's 1 minute, so it's 1:00. You hit OK and it resets the clock. If, for example, the wrestlers were in the match and at this point they went out of bounds, and for whatever reason you didn't stop the clock, that's okay. All right, so you finally realize that you stopped the clock and it need to be reset to 57 seconds. That's very, very simple to fix. So you get a reset, all you type in is 57 and you hit OK. As you'll notice, if you don't put the colon, everything's going in as seconds. So very simple, no problem fixing the clock. Okay, so let's reset this match to 1:00 so we can start. The wrestlers go out to the center, the referee blows the whistle, and we're starting the match. You'll see the clock's counting down here. Okay, so now Carter is going to get the first takedown. So all we need to do to score that is go right here to takedown, click takedown. you'll see it gave Carter 2 points. Leighton has 0, and Carter's in green, Leighton's in red. Okay. As they continue to wrestle now, Carter, let me stop this so I can explain. Carter is the top wrestler. So Carter's options for scoring at this point are limited to near falls, which in youth wrestling, you're going to have a 2 near fall and a 3 near fall. Sometimes you're going to have a 4, but that's rare. That's only in a case where a wrestler is injured or something when they're on their back, and the referee will explain that. But most of the time, you just need to worry about 2s and 3s. He could get a penalty, he could get stalling, or he could get caution for a reason at the beginning of the period. So really all you need to worry about right now is your near falls. Leighton, on the other hand, has a couple of other options. He can get an escape, he could get a reversal, he could also get stalling, penalties, or caution. You will see here neither wrestler has the option of a takedown. The reason for that, they're now on the mat. A takedown is no longer an option in this position. So it's a smart system. I'm going to start the clock back too. It's a smart system in that. So you will see that it does not allow Leighton the option of near fall because he is the bottom wrestler. Okay. How do you know he's the bottom wrestler? Look right there and it tells you he's the bottom wrestler. Okay. So we're going to continue this match. Carter's going to get 3 near fall. And then we're going to say Leighton is going to get an escape. So the wrestlers are now neutral. I'm going to stop this real quick again. The wrestlers are now neutral again. As you notice, takedown is now an option for both wrestlers again because they are neutral. Okay. So one other thing, everything in that period is right here in the center. Every score that you just made, or even if a wrestler had gotten a caution, it shows it here. It shows how much time was on the clock when those actions happen. Okay, so your summary is right there in the middle for the period. So we're going to start this. The period's going to run out. Now, at the end of the first period, the referee is going to flip his disc. It's going to be red or green. Let's say, for example, it was green, which gives Carter the choice. Okay, as you see right up here, we're still in period 1. So what do we need to do? We click next. That takes us to choice 1. So as I said before, Carter won choice. Carter's going to choose to defer, which now gives Leighton the choice. Leighton's going to choose the bottom. Okay, now as you'll notice, the middle of the screen here changed and we're ready to start period 2. You can do this with the drop down box, but it's just really easy to do it with the previous and next. Okay, now let's say, for example, you hit bottom for Leighton and you're like, uh-oh, actually Leighton chose top. So what am I going to do? I can go to the drop down box and go back to choice here, or I can go to previous, okay, and I can change this. So it, in your summary right here, it shows Leighton on the bottom. So we're going to click bottom, and it gives you all these options. So you can change it, you can switch it, you can delete it, you can insert something above it. So I'm just going to change it, right? And ask me to enter what I want to change it to. So we're going to say that he chose top instead. And then just to show you that it did actually change it, we're right here and Leighton is on top. So now we're in period 2. We're ready to start the match. The referee blows a whistle. Leighton is now the top wrestler, so he has the options of near fall. Carter is the bottom wrestler, as you see here. He has the option for escape and reversal. Okay, so Carter's going to get a reversal. We're now on top. We got a 2-point near fall with Carter, and now Leighton has a nosebleed. So we're going to go over here. The referee is going to signal for you to start blood time. So we're going to click start blood time. Each wrestler receives 5 minutes blood time. If it was injury time, they get 1 minute and 30 seconds to recover. And if it was a recovery time, which is if a wrestler was hurt or injured due to an illegal move, they have 2 minutes to recover from that. Okay, so we got Leighton's nose stopped bleeding. He has all this blood time left. Now, one thing I will tell you, on the scoreboard that's facing the mat right now, it's showing blood time, right? It's going to show 4 minutes and 30 seconds. The wrestlers are all cleaned up. They're back to the center of the mat. They're ready to start wrestling. The referee's looking at you saying, okay, start the clock back. Put the clock back. All you need to worry about is tell the referee, okay, when I hit start, it'll flip back over. You're going to have fans from the stands yelling, fix the clock, because to them it's showing 4 minutes and 30 seconds. All you need to worry about is tell the referee to start the match, and you're good to go. As soon as the referee blows the whistle, you're going to click start right here, and it's going to put your match clock right back up on the screen. Very simple. All right, so we're going to go out of bounds, and we're going to stop the clock. So the positions we're in, Leighton is on the bottom, Carter's on top. Okay, so we come back out, and Leighton, a minute ago in the first period, I gave him a caution for whatever reason, for an example. So you'll see this hand right here. It's in the shape of a C. That's signifying that Leighton has one caution. As you'll see over here, Carter has none. So let's say that Leighton has a false start. So we're going to give him another caution. Okay, so it's a caution here. Leighton's a little jumpy, and he's going to get one more caution. Okay, so on your third caution, you'll see that it automatically give Carter one penalty point here. So you don't have to worry about adding up how many cautions and going over and choosing penalties. It knows that once Leighton receives 3 cautions, Carter now gets a penalty point. So we're going to restart the match. Everything's going fine. Wrestlers go out of bounds, and someone sitting beside you distracted you for a moment, and we missed 6 seconds off of the clock. So the clock needs to be reset to 23 seconds. So we're going to go right here, hit reset, type in 23, hit OK. We're ready to go at 23 seconds. Okay, so this match continues. And again, your summary for everything within this period is right here. Okay, so wrestlers go out of bounds. Referee, look, we're stop the clock. The referee looks up and says, okay, the score is 8-1. I think it should be 7-1. We need to review the score. So the referee is going to come to the table and ask you to review the score. So all you need to do is go right over here to the summary, and you click the summary, and it's going to give you an entire summary for that match. So you'll see period 1, Carter scored 5 points. Leighton scored 1 point for an escape. Carter deferred. Leighton chose top. Period 2, Carter got a reversal and a penalty point, so it's 8-1. The referee says, okay, we're good to go. So we're going to go right back to the match. You're going to click match. It's going to take you right back where you were. He's going to blow the whistle. We're going to start the match. The period runs out. Okay, so now we're going to click next. So it knows green has choice. So the referee's going to say, who has choice? And you'll say, green has choice. And that's Carter. So you're going to go over here and click bottom for Carter. Now we're in the third period. The clock starts. Okay, so within this, Carter's going to get a reversal. Carter's now on top, and then Carter pins Leighton. Match is over. Okay, so the score's 10-1, right? But this system does not know just yet that the match is over until you go right over here to result. Okay, and it assumes that since Carter was on top at the time and you stopped the clock before the match was over, that Carter must have gotten a fall, which means a pin. So it shows here that Carter has a fall, 1 minute and 34 seconds, and we're going to save result. All right, that match is over. That's all you have to worry about. Now at this point, Trayvon Lawson is coming. You need to find Trayvon Lawson and Briar Asbury. You're going to call these 2 wrestlers. Once you confirm that you have both of them, you're going to click Bout 7, and Trayvon, we're going to change Trayvon to red, right? We're going to start the match, and exactly the same thing that we just went through a minute ago. The only thing that I'm going to show that might be different, that you might have to worry about changing, let's say, for example, that Trayvon got a takedown. So Trayvon is on top, okay? And we're going to stop it and say that Breyer was injured. So we're going to start injury time and then just going to pretend that Breyer decides not to continue the match because he's hurt. So we're going to stop the match right here. So we're going to go over to result. This system's going to assume, because we stopped it in the middle of the round and Trayvon was on top, that he got a fall. Well, that's not actually what happened. Trayvon's going to win by injury default. So all you got to do is click this drop down box here, click injury default, and click save. Okay, so I'll show you one other thing right now. If, for example, you scored it incorrectly, for whatever reason, if you need to change anything here, you can change it. So if Breyer was actually the winner, you can click Breyer. All right, you're going to have to change the score right here and give Breyer more points. Well, actually, you wouldn't if it was an injury default. So Breyer could have won this by injury default, even though that Trayvon had more points at that point. But you can change any of this. So you can change the names from the drop-down box here. If there was a default, if somebody was disqualified, there's all kinds of options here. The referee will tell you if something needs to change here, and you just go in this drop-down box and select it. This is not going to happen a lot, but let's just say it does. So you're going to go and save that. It takes you right back to your matches here. So very simple. I think that's pretty much everything you need to know to score a match.